the earth beneath my feet, sat by the river and it made me complete. Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. I came across a fallen tree. I felt the branches of it looking at me. Is this the place we used to love? Is this the place that I've been dreaming of? Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. If you have a minute, why don't we go talk about it somewhere only we know? This could be the end of everything, so why don't we go somewhere only we know? Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on.
Thank you so much for that stellar performance from Janine Mugisha. After school is after school and it's time for Kids Newsroom right here on SABC2 where you belong. I am super excited for this installment of Kids Newsroom where we'll be getting the latest news from all across the country as well as the globe. Igama lam ngumhlonto Buhle Keleba, inzwakazi yaseMampondomiseni, and I'm with the one and only beautiful flower Riverashe.
Dumelang friends and welcome back to your favorite kids show. KNR Riverashe Marumo, ke tshepa gore kaofela le thabile episode ya kajeno, and without wasting any more time, let's get straight into the bulletin. Coming up, Action Breaks the Silence is working with schools to educate learners on conflict resolution and non-violent communication in order to create a safer and friendlier community.
We catch up with the St. John's College Prep boys who recently won the South African National Kids Lit Quiz, heading to the World Finals in Australia.
It was a cold morning. Willima pushed his hands deep into the pockets of his school pants and pulled up his shoulders as he was feeling very cold. He was waiting for the robot to change green and he was stomping and shivering. He wore 2 t-shirts under his school white t-shirt, but despite that, he still felt very, very cold. Brrr, said Mulimo, stomping his feet.
And we wrap today's show by diving into the exciting world of Nali Bali. These and many more stories in the bulletin.
Just as promised, we kick off our news bulletin by checking out what's making headlines across the world.
In news around the world this week, we begin in United States. The fate of TikTok, used by about 170 million Americans, is becoming a concern in Washington. This comes after many TikTok users gathered outside the Capitol Hill recently to protest the U.S. House of Representatives vote on a bill proposed which gave TikTok's Chinese owner ByteDance about 6 months to hand over the U.S. its rights of the short video app or face a ban. The bill passed 352 to 65 votes. Meanwhile, its content creators said they were able to create or grow their businesses because of TikTok and hence do not support its ban. It is unclear for now what the fate of the app will be, as it is set to go to the Senate House soon. Jetting off to Malawi, A report released recently by UNICEF highlights Malawi for its significant reductions in the number of children under the age of 5 who are dying, which is way higher than the global decline of 51% since 2000. Meanwhile, these improvements are said to be because children's access to health and hospitals has improved even for newborn babies. As it stands, about 20 African countries are planning to introduce a vaccine program to fight against the malaria disease in 2024, according to global vaccine partner of UNICEF, Gavi. Hopefully, this will further push down the number of children dying to the disease. And in Palestine now, around this time every year, families, including Hamz's family, decorate their houses and prepares food to break their fast during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. But this year, and with the continuing war in Gaza, these displaced Palestinians currently stay in an overcrowded tented camp in Rafah with shortages of food, gas and medications, and thus make it hard for them to fully celebrate Ramadan. Now this has entered the 6th month of the terror attacks, and while there is no end in sight, more help in the form of food and medication were being airdropped by multiple countries into northern Gaza, especially for the Ramadan holy month. And lastly, in Russia, who knew animals are also celebrated on International Women's Day? Well, this was the case for 6.5-month-old panda cub Katyusha, who coincidentally turned that old whilst it was International Women's Day. Lucky for her, she stole the spotlight and definitely had a blast. She can be seen by leaving her cave and going out to the large enclosure where large crowds of people came to see and bond with her. To many more years to Katyusha. And on that note, that is all we have for you in news around the world this week.
In fighting the rising numbers of violence attacks in the Deep Slute community, organization Action Breaks the Silence is actively working with schools in the area to teach learners on how to handle arguments and speak their mind without any violence involved. By directing this specifically to young learners, they hope this will give them values of self-discipline and create a safe environment for all. Our producer, Given Mutsuiane, compiled this report.
Deep Slute is a densely populated township in Gauteng. It is quite notorious for high levels of crime, and with crime always comes violence. That is why this is a fertile ground for an organization like Action Break Silence, an educational charity organization established to create a world free from violence against women and children. Recently, the organization hosted a workshop at the Musenga Vadzimo Primary School.
So the charity in South Africa began, I think we got charitable status in 2016. But before that, I actually set up Action Break Silence UK in 2013. The aim of the charity is to create a world where women and girls can live free from male violence, but we have a really unique approach where we believe that everyone in a school community could become active bystanders to address some of the really horrific GBV or violence against women and girls stats in South Africa.
Learners who are part of the organization say that this organization has helped them in redefining masculinity.
There are no perfect words to describe what we've learned ever since I've been in this program from grade 4. But just to brief it in short, I've learned about loving myself, I've learned about stopping bullying, and I've learned that we are all equal. No one is better than the other.
Okay. I learned that as a young girl, we are powerful and we are independent, and since I joined Action Break Silence, I learned how to defend myself and how to love myself and other people. Bashimane ba stop bula banyana cause of nto ba dirang ko banyana I treat banyana sharp.
Zijonze leswaku ndzi fanele ndzi hlonipha vavasati na vanhwanyani leswaku va ta kota ku feel protected.
Mina ndiyadifuna samuvili wanga the way I am zvino ndavafuna vathu vothe ndito respecta na vamwe vathu.
Members of Action Breaks the Silence are pleading with Police Forum for more police visibility.
So, as siwumphakathi wase Deep Sloot, as Action Break Silence, we would like ukuthi amaphoyisa asisize to reach out to the kids and to reach out to the community also, to abomama aba-abuzwayo, abantwana aba-abuzwayo. Can you please have assistance from the police?
We hope these learners will internalize the vision for a violence-free world and pass the baton to the next generation, ensuring a different future. Motsuyani Given, SABC News, Mosenga Vadzimu in Deep Sloot.
After the break, we'll be chatting to St. John's College Prep boys on their recent win. Which win? You'll find out as soon as we come back from the break. Welcome back to all of our SABC2 and SABC Lehigh viewers. St. John's College Prep boys have once again secured victory at the South African Kids Lit Quiz, showcasing their intellect, teamwork and love for reading.
Joining us today in studio, we have Joseph, Daniel, Sahil and Benjamin to tell us more about how they clinched the top prize. Hey guys, first of all, congratulations on winning the Kids Lit Quiz. So could you guys tell me a bit more about what the quiz entails, Joseph?
So the main thing is you just have to read. You have to know your stuff, and you have to remember what you do when what you read when you read.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the first round there's a written quiz, and the top two go to the national round where it's a live quiz, which means there's buzzers, and then the winner goes into the finals.
Okay, lovely. And how does it feel to be named the national winners once again?
It feels great. It just feels so good that we're like the best in the world. Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
we're best in South Africa.
In fact, you are. You must make sure that you are the best in the world. Now, Daniel, can you tell us about the preparation that goes before you go to the competition? How do you prepare as a team as you're competing with so many other top-tier schools?
I think it's pretty obvious that you have to prepare by reading.
Yes.
But that's not all you do. You also have to we do weekly practices with our team. In fact, we don't just do it weekly anymore. We do like twice or three times a week.
All right.
And it's we just practice potential questions that could be in the quiz.
All right. Now, Sahil, what was the most challenging question, and how did you get together as a team to actually tackle that question at the competition?
So there wasn't really a very, very challenging question. There's many questions that we don't know.
Yes.
But most of the questions that are challenging we won't get, and none of us in the team will get, but most of the questions we'll know it and try to work in a team to get the answer.
All right.
Okay. So Ben, your headmaster said that reading is at the heart of the academic endeavour. How would you say participating in the quiz has enriched your love for reading?
Well, yeah, I have to say thank you to Mrs. Salter. So, I mean, I started off reading the odd book.
Sure.
And, I mean, I learned to read on with, what was it, Green Eggs and Ham.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the book I learned to read on. But then when I arrived in the prep, Mrs. Salter told me about the Quizlet quiz.
Okay.
I thought, wow, this sounds awesome, because I love quizzes. And I came to this practice, and I mean, I saw these boys who were participating in this final. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So I just kept going, and now I'm here.
Lovely.
So it's incredible.
Now, anyone can answer. You boys are going to Australia. I just want to find out from the team, what is the mood? How are you guys feeling?
We're feeling very excited. We're a bit nervous on the questions.
I think definitely nervous. I agree with Sonia.
Yeah, because we're going up. I mean, we're the best in South Africa, but
Right.
now we're going up against the best in the world. So there could be questions that we have never heard of. I mean, in the South African round, they mainly focus on well-known books, maybe like from England and America and South Africa.
Yes.
And now when we're going to the World Finals, they're going to bring it in from a whole lot of different countries that we won't know. So.
All right.
And
now
also,
we have. Oh, all right.
Oh,
yes.
yes, sorry. And also, like the fact that like we're going up against like top tier readers, like
yes,
like for example, like America. That's where a lot of the books will be from. So it will be easier for like the American team than for like the South African team, where there won't be as many questions about South Africa books.
All right. Now we have a caller on the line who's going to ask a question. Smirk, welcome to Kids Newsroom.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm well, thank you so much. Is there a question that you have to ask one of the boys?
I want to ask Daniel.
Yes. Daniel can hear you.
Let me start by saying congratulations, guys. My name is Matmananekine from Westbury. We are really inspired. I want to know, what can you advise other children who want to excel in quiz competitions?
All right, so Smirk is asking, what can you advise other children to start preparing, if I'm right, for other quizzes or to get to where you are?
So I think the main thing you can do, most people just basically you just need to read a lot, and maybe you can read anywhere. Go to your school library, your local library, and just find a book that looks interesting.
All right, and now we have Nikita on the line. Nikita, welcome to SABC2 on Kids Newsroom.
Hi, KNR.
Hi, Nikita.
To Nikita. I want to ask your guest today, how does it feel to participate in a national competition? How did you manage to calm your nerves?
Okay.
Well, it feels really amazing just to be there with all of these other amazing readers from South Africa, and you meet a whole lot of new people. It's a great feeling, but it's also really nerve-wracking because the quiz, the South African quiz, it's really short. It's 5 rounds, 10 questions, and then it's over, and in about an hour you're done and you know if you're going to Australia or not. So it's awesome, but it's very nerve-wracking.
All right. Thank you so much to our 2 callers that got an opportunity to ask these Quizlet winners questions. Roops?
Thank you guys so much for joining us in the studio today. We wish you the best of luck in Australia.
Thank you.
And right now we are going to quickly head off to an ad break, and we'll be back after this.
You know, we love focusing on the importance of reading and literacy. Today, we are very excited to hear what our friends from Nali Bali have for us.
It was a cold morning. Willima pushed his hands deep into the pockets of his school pants and pulled up his shoulders as he was feeling very cold. He was waiting for the robot to change green, and he was stomping and shivering. He wore 2 t-shirts under his school white t-shirt, but despite that, he still felt very, very cold. Brrr, said Mulimo, stomping his feet. I wish Granny had enough money to buy me new jackets. I'd be so happy.
As soon as the little green man appeared on the robot, Mulemo started to cross the road, but that's when he heard a scream behind him. As he turned to look, he saw a man struggling with an old woman trying to take her handbag. "Help! Help!" shouted the woman. Mulemo didn't stop to think and ran to help the old woman. He kicked the man on the ankle as hard as he could. The man howled in pain and let go of the woman's handbag. Then he limped away as quickly as he could.
"Sorry, Mama. Did he hit you?" asked Molemo, helping the woman to stand up. She had fallen over when the robber had let go of her handbag. "Grab onto my shoulder," Molemo said. The old woman was shaking and she looked like she wanted to cry. Thank you, she said. "I don't know what has got into people these days."
Once the old woman was up on her feet again, Molemo picked up her things and handed them back to her. At least we still have generous young people like you, she said as she smiled. Later, that same afternoon, Molemo was crossing the road at the same robots on his way home. To his surprise, the old woman was there, waiting for him. "Young man," she shouted, "I have something special for you," as she handed Molemo a carefully well-wrapped packet.
Please, Molemo, open it when you get home, said the old woman. Molemo felt embarrassed. No, Mama, please, you don't have to give me anything. It's fine. No, Molemo, please do take it, insisted the old woman. This is just the thing you need, Molemo. And when I met you, I knew that it would be perfect for you. She squeezed Molemo and patted his back. And she said, if it doesn't fit you anymore, please just pass it on to another child who was just as kind as you. Then she turned and she left.
When Molemo got home, he opened the packet. Inside was a bright yellow jacket. It had pockets on the outside and a lovely checked pattern on the lining inside. It was beautiful, but as he held it up, he realized it was quite small.
Molemo felt disappointed. This will never fit me, he thought. But because it was such a nice jacket, he decided to try it on anyway. That is when something really surprising happened. The right sleeve of the jacket seemed to grow longer as he slid his arm through it. It grew longer and longer until it was exactly the right size for his arm. Molemo couldn't believe his eyes.
This could not be right. Molemo then put his left arm in the left sleeve of his jacket, and again, it seemed to grow and grow to fit Molemo just right. The jacket fit Molemo perfectly. He then skipped outside to see his reflection in the window. He posed with both his hands and hips, and then put his hands in his pockets. The jacket fit Molemo amazingly.
Nali Bali, oh 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 Nali Bali.
Yet another packed and informative episode. I hope you all had a good time because I know we did. Unfortunately, that is all from me today, but I will see you very, very soon.
Hayi ke mbukeli uphela apho uvimba wanamhlanje kodwa ke ungakhathazeki. We'll meet here next Monday, same time, same place, same channel. Until then, siyakudibana ngexesha elizayo. Bye.